Have you ever wanted to grow the beautiful Adenium, also known as the desert rose, but didn't know where to start? In this video, I'm going to tell you how to grow Adenium from cuttings, one of the fastest and most reliable ways to propagate this exotic plant. Did you know that Adenium can grow up to 60% faster from cuttings than from seeds? Plus, you'll be able to replicate the exact traits of the parent plant, ensuring the same vibrant flowers and strong caudex. Stick around, because whether you're a beginner or an experienced gardener, these tips will help you create your own thriving desert rose at home. I'll walk you through the step-by-step process of growing Adenium from cuttings, addressing every stage from selecting the perfect cutting to ensuring it thrives. Adenium, commonly known as the desert rose, is a stunning plant native to Africa and the Middle East. It's known for its thick, succulent stems, vibrant flowers, and impressive caudex, swollen trunk that gives the plant a bonsai-like appearance. While Adeniums can be grown from seeds, many plant enthusiasts prefer propagation through cuttings. Why grow Adenium from cuttings? Before diving into the how, let's address the why. Propagating Adenium from cuttings has several advantages. 1. Faster growth. Growing Adenium from seeds can take time, and it can be a slow journey before the plant blooms. Cuttings, on the other hand, are already mature sections of the plant, so they establish themselves much faster. 2. True to parent plants. When grown from seeds, Adeniums can show variability in terms of flower color and size. By taking cuttings from a parent plant, you can ensure that the new plant will exhibit the exact same characteristics. 3. Increased control. Cuttings allow you to control the growth and shaping of the plant from an early stage, especially if you want a specific form or size. Step 1. Selecting the right cutting. The first step in successfully growing Adenium from cuttings is selecting a healthy and suitable piece of the plant. Here's what you need to look for. Characteristics of a good cutting. Healthy growth. Choose a stem that is firm, healthy, and disease-free. Avoid soft, yellowing, or diseased stems, as they may struggle to root. Semi-hardwood stems. Adeniums root best from semi-hardwood cuttings. This means selecting a stem that is neither too soft nor fully hardened. Ideally, you want a stem that is slightly flexible but snaps when bent. Size of the cutting. A cutting that is 4 to 6 inches long is optimal. It should have at least 2 nodes, the points from which leaves grow, to ensure proper rooting. When to take cuttings. Spring and summer are the best seasons to take cuttings from Adenium plants, as they are actively growing during this time. Attempting propagation during the winter months is less successful because the plant enters a dormant phase and will not root as easily. Tools you'll need. Pruning shears or a sharp knife. Ensure your cutting tool is clean and sterilized to avoid transferring diseases to the plant. Rubbing alcohol for sterilizing your tools. How to take the cutting. 1. Cut at a 45-degree angle. Make a clean cut just below a node to increase the surface area for rooting. 2. Let it callus. One crucial aspect of Adenium cuttings is allowing the cut end to dry out and callus before planting. This prevents rotting once it's placed in soil. Place the cutting in a dry, warm area for 3 to 5 days to allow the wound to heal. Step 2. Preparing the potting medium. Adeniums are succulent plants that thrive in well-draining soil. The right potting medium is essential to prevent water retention, which can lead to root rot. Here's how to prepare the best medium for your cuttings. Components of the potting mix. Perlite. A lightweight, volcanic material that aids in drainage. Coarse sand. Provides excellent drainage and prevents the soil from becoming compacted. Cactus or succulent soil. A good base for your mix, specifically designed for succulents. Mix ratio. Combine 50% succulent soil, 30% perlite, and 20% coarse sand. This combination will ensure that the cutting receives enough moisture without sitting in wet soil, which can cause rotting. Choosing the right pot. A small pot with good drainage is ideal for rooting Adenium cuttings. Make sure the pot has enough holes at the bottom to allow excess water to drain out freely. Clay pots are often recommended as they allow the soil to dry out faster than plastic pots. Step 3. Rooting the cutting. Once your cutting has calloused and your potting mix is prepared, it's time to plant the cutting. Planting the cutting. 1. Moisten the potting medium. Lightly moisten the soil before planting the cutting. You want it to be slightly damp, not soaking wet. 2. Plant the cutting. Insert the calloused end of the cutting into the soil about 2 inches deep. Make sure the cutting is stable and upright. 3. Optional, use rooting hormone. Dipping the cut end into rooting hormone powder before planting can help accelerate the rooting process. While not mandatory, it can increase success rates. Light and temperature requirements. Adeniums love bright light and warm temperatures. Place the pot in a spot where it receives plenty of indirect sunlight, such as near a sunny window. Direct sunlight can be too harsh for the cutting initially, so make sure it's filtered. The ideal temperature for rooting is between 75 degrees Fahrenheit and 85 degrees Fahrenheit, 24 degrees Celsius to 29 degrees Celsius. Temperatures below 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees Celsius can slow down the rooting process or prevent it altogether. Step 4. Watering and care during rooting. Adenium cuttings are susceptible to overwatering, especially before they develop roots. Here's how to manage watering during the rooting process. Watering schedule. First week. Do not water the cutting during the first week after planting. This allows it to focus on callousing and healing. After the first week, water the cutting lightly, ensuring the soil dries out completely between watering sessions. A good rule of thumb is to water once every 7 to 10 days, but always check the soil moisture before watering. Humidity and ventilation. Adeniums thrive in dry conditions, so avoid placing them in high humidity environments. Ensure that the area is well ventilated to prevent fungal issues and rot. Step 5. Monitoring root development. Rooting can take anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks, depending on environmental conditions. Here's how to monitor progress. Signs of successful rooting. New growth. The first indication that your cutting has rooted is the appearance of new leaves at the top of the stem. Firmness. Gently tug on the cutting after a few weeks. If it resists and feels firm in the soil, roots have likely developed. What to do if roots aren't forming? If your cutting doesn't seem to be rooting after 6 weeks, it may be due to insufficient heat, light, or improper moisture levels. Try adjusting these factors and be patient, as some cuttings can take longer depending on the environment. Step 6. Transplanting and long-term care. Once your cutting has developed roots and is showing signs of new growth, it's time to transplant it into a larger pot. This will give the Adenium more room to grow and establish itself. Transplanting tips. 1. Choose a well-draining pot. Like before, select a pot with excellent drainage. 2. Use a similar potting mix. The transplant soil should be well-draining and similar in composition to the mix used for rooting. 3. Water sparingly. After transplanting, wait a few days before watering to let the plant settle into its new environment. Long-term care. Light. Once established, adeniums thrive in full sun, so place them in a bright spot where they can get at least 6 hours of sunlight per day. Watering. During the active growing season, spring and summer, water the plant regularly, but allow the soil to dry up between waterings. In the winter, reduce watering significantly, as adeniums go into a semi-dormant state and need very little water. Fertilizing. Fertilize your adenium every 4 to 6 weeks during the growing season with a balanced fertilizer such as 10-10-10 to encourage healthy growth and blooming. Common challenges and troubleshooting. Root rot. Adeniums are prone to root rot if overwatered, especially when propagating from cuttings. Always ensure the soil dries out completely between watering sessions and avoid leaving the cutting in a high humidity environment. Pests. Adeniums can occasionally attract pests like mealybugs and spider mites. Inspect the plant regularly and treat any infestations with insecticidal soap or neem oil. I absolutely love caring for my adenium plants. There's something magical about watching these cuttings transform into full-grown plants with thick trunks and stunning blooms. One fun fact, adeniums, despite being succulents, can actually produce flowers for up to 6 months of the year with proper care, filling your garden with bursts of color. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever tried growing adenium from cuttings? What was your experience like? Drop a comment below and share your tips or any challenges you faced. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss new tips on growing beautiful plants. Thanks for watching and happy gardening!